Wanna be Ryan the Great, and today we are talking MLB free agency, guys. Yes, we have not done pretty much any MLB free agency videos this offseason. Well, we did talk about Trey Turner and Aaron Judge. I was going to do a video reacting to every single MLB free agency move. I did end up filming that video, but the less said about the way that came out, the better. But, yeah, guys, so we're just going to be talking about every MLB team and their best move. Might be talking a little bit about of extra moves, what I think of their offseason in general, if it's a bigger market team with moves that were made on the larger side of contracts, if that makes sense. So we're just going to get right into it. But before we get right into it, guys, make sure you subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother doing the great vlogs. Go subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the Cod Great. And make sure you follow me on Twitch at Ryan the Great Podcast. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the video. So we're going to start at A to Z based on, city, I guess you could say, if that's what you want to call it. So we start out with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So I'll take Miguel Castro, pitcher, 4.03 ERA. He does add someone to their bullpen. They haven't done much in this offseason, so this is kind of their only move and their best move, I guess you could say. Next, we go to the Atlanta Braves. I'll take Sean Murphy on this one. A 250 average, 18 home runs, 66 RBIs. Trading Contreras, I don't know. I don't think it's the greatest move, but it is a good piece. They didn't have to give up too much to get him. Actually, they didn't have to give up much at all. So this is really a steal when you think about it for the Braves. It does give them some hitting, even though Dansby Swanson left, it does give him some hitting. Murphy also a solid defensive catcher. I think that's really good. Moving on to the Baltimore Orioles, I'll take Adam Frazier. They haven't really done much this offseason. Adam Frazier, a 2.38 ERA, 3 home runs, 42 RBIs. The Orioles, ever since trading Trey Mancini, haven't really done much. I thought they could have made the wild card in the middle of the season last year, but unfortunately for them, that did not happen. So I would say this is probably their best move. Moving on to the Red Sox, definitely re-signing Rafael Devers was the best move for them, and then, it was great for them because they did lose Xander Bogaerts. Devers last year, 2.95 ERA, average, 27 home runs, 88 RBIs, and as I said, losing Bogaerts and then bringing back Devers does help. Do I think this team is a contender? No, but bringing in, I think, Kelly Jansen to the bullpen does help, and also some other key pieces. Losing Bogaerts was obviously a shame, but it is what it is, and they'll just have to figure it out. For the White Sox, I'll put in Andrew Benintendi, a 3.04 average with 5 home runs and 51 RBIs. I was debating between him and Clevinger, but I think the 3.04 average, that was the 9th best in the MLB this season, is kind of what did it for me. The White Sox could use some hitting, and I think this works out for them well. For the Cubs, it's obviously got to be Dansby Swanson, a 2.77 average with 25 home runs and 96 RBIs. This helps the Cubs with their rebuild, and signing Bellinger, I think, was a great move as well. This definitely helps the Cubs rebuild, and that was a great move for them. I mean, this is their first big move in a while, so yeah. The Reds, I'll just take Luke Mayo, I think that's how you say his name. A 2.21 average, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. The Reds need to start spending some money on free agents, and this is really not helping. The Reds are a rebuilding team right now, and spending no money in free agency is not going to help at all. So it is what it is there. The Guardians, I think Josh Bell, 2.66 average, 17 home runs, 71 RBIs. I knew that Josh Bell wasn't going to stay in San Diego. I don't know. I think the Nationals just did him a favor of getting him out of Washington, and now he had his chance to go sign with the team that he wanted. And the Guardians, they could have beaten the Yankees last year. I think they really should have beaten the Yankees, but the rain, the weather stuff killed it. And this move definitely helps. Getting good first baseman in there in Josh Bell, a slugger. On the Nationals, he was batting 300. Then he went to the Padres and went down a little bit, but 300 average on the Nationals. He can definitely get back to that this year. The Rockies, I'll take Tyler Kinley. Only in 25 games, he had a .75 ERA, 27 strikeouts. He had a breakout season though. He definitely could be a great move for the future. So I think this is definitely the Rockies' best move. Next, the Tigers. Michael Lorenzo, or Lorenzen, I think that's how you say his name. I'm bad with these names, bro. 8-6 record, a 4.24 ERA, 85 strikeouts. The Tigers definitely had a terrible offseason. There's no doubt about it. Spending the only thing they really spent was $18 million on 2 pitchers, but this is probably the best move, the best pitcher that they did sign. It is what it is for the Tigers. That once again, they're not really going to go anywhere. They're kind of just there, to be honest, but it is what it is. The Astros, I mean, this was a pretty good offseason for the Astros. I mean, their best move was Jose Abreu, 100%. 304 average, 15 home runs, and 75 RBIs. After losing Gurriel and Mancini, were, not the greatest in the world. Obviously, losing Gurriel was probably the worst. But picking up a better first baseman in Abreu and losing Verlander was horrible because he was a Cy Young Award winner last year. But picking up guys like Abreu were definitely great, and they picked up some guys for the bullpen. It definitely works out for them. Now we go to the Kansas City Royals. They really didn't do anything this offseason, but I'll take Ryan Yarbrough, I think that's how you say his name. A 3-8 record with a 4.50 ERA and 61 strikeouts. Once again, the Royals did not do anything this offseason, so this is pretty much their best move. They're once again just there. They're not going anywhere. But not spending any money in free agency was definitely not the best move. The Angels, they had a pretty great offseason when it comes to pitching. They brought in some great pitchers in there, and their best one was Tyler Anderson with a 15-5 record, a 2.57 ERA, 138 strikeouts. The Angels spent a lot of time on pitching this offseason once again. This definitely was the best move. I definitely think this does help because, hitting is pretty much there with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani and some great players to back it up. So I think pitching definitely was the right direction to go. And the Angels are looking on the upside if Mike Trout is able to stay healthy. Now we go over to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Not a great offseason for the Dodgers. They lost a lot of players. But the best move was re-signing Clayton Kershaw to a 1-year deal. He went 12-3 last year with a 2.28 ERA, 137 strikeouts. I thought he was a contention for Cy Young. Did not get it, though. When healthy, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. But the problem is, he's never healthy. That's the thing. And the Dodgers didn't get him to commit to a long-term deal, but apparently he doesn't think he can commit to a long-term deal because of the injuries. But even though he is injured and he is 34, I definitely think the Dodgers should give him a pretty hefty deal. I mean, look at what Justin Verlander got from the Mets, you know what I mean? The Marlins, obviously, Luis Ariz, I can't say that name to save my life. A 3.18 ERA, 8 home runs, and 49 RBIs. Until this move, the Marlins really did a whole bunch of nothing. And I was, if I made this video a few weeks earlier, it was going to be Gene Segura. That was the best move. But trading for the batting champ will be pretty much the best move for any team. So this is really the Marlins' only move and obviously best move. The Twins getting Carlos Correa back on a 10-year deal, 10 years. A 291 average, 22 home runs, 64 RBIs. Correa was one of the best players on the market this year, and almost losing him to the Giants and Mets were good. Actually would have been terrible. Thank God his leg was hurting. He helps the Twins. He definitely obviously helps the Twins, trying to win and bringing in Vasquez and Gallo. Well, maybe not Gallo as much, but bringing in Vasquez as a catcher. Very solid move. I think this team, maybe not going to do much. They have a chance, I'll say. The Yankees. It's obviously going to be Carlos Rodon. No, I'm kidding. It's obviously Aaron Judge. A 3.11 average, 63 home runs. Obviously breaking Roger Maris's record of the most AL home runs in a single season. 131 home runs. The best player in baseball this year. The AL MVP. Was it probably an overpay? Did they probably overpay him? Yeah. Was it a smart move anyway? Yeah. But, other than Judge and Rondon, the Yankees really didn't make any other moves. But, Aaron Judge on it, signing with any team would have been their best move. The Mets, obviously, I think it's got to be Justin Verlander. An 18-4 record with a 1.75 ERA. That was the best in the MLB. The record was second best. 85 strikeouts, the best WHIP or WHIP, I think that's how you say it. I don't know what the hell they call it in the MLB, and the AL Cy Young Award winner. This is a great replacement for DeGrom. This is definitely an overpay, but the Mets are just throwing money at everybody, so they can definitely afford it. The Athletics, how do I say his name? Aldemez Diaz. I think that's how you say his name. A 243 average, 12 home runs, 38 RBIs. The A's get an F this offseason in free agency, and this was their best move. Pretty underwhelming if you ask me. The A's had a terrible offseason for a rebuilding team. Once again, you got to go out and try and spend some money. They did not do that. The Philadelphia Phillies, obviously, we got to go with Trey Turner, a 298 average, 21 home runs, 100 RBIs. One of the best hitters in the last 3 years. The Phillies were definitely very aggressive in getting Trey Turner. I do like that. Getting him for the next 11 years or whatever it is, definitely amazing. The Phillies are dumping Segura, who was getting a little older, getting a little more injured. And they dumped him for one of the best players in free agency. They're moving over Stott to second. I would assume they're moving Stott over to second base, who is a great young prospect. I definitely think this really helps out for the Phillies. And also getting Soto, Walker. This really works out for the Philadelphia Phillies. The Pirates. G-Man Chow, I think that's how you say his name. A 233 average, 11 home runs, and 52 RBIs. The Pirates had a half-decent offseason. They picked up some good role players, and I think Chow, I think that's how you say his name, probably is the best pickup of the offseason for them. The Padres, Xander Bogaerts, obviously, a 307 average, 15 home runs, 73 RBIs. Adding Bogaerts to Machado, Tatis, and Soto, that's a super team right there. They have a chance to go to the World Series. It just adds to the hitting great talent. But I think this is a great move because Bogaerts is a great hitter. He just doesn't hit home runs. And, Soto, Tatis, and Machado, they just really hit home runs, and that's kind of it. Well, Tatis can go all around is what I'll say. Well, why do you think the Yankees haven't won the World Series since 2009? It's just because they bring in home run hitters. You know what I mean? So I think this is a great move for the Padres. The Giants. I'll say Ross Stripling. They didn't get Aaron Judge, obviously, but Ross Stripling had a solid year last year. 10-4, 3.01 ERA, 111 strikeouts. After losing Rondon and Correa, this is a pretty good consolation prize, I'll say. And bringing back Jock Peterson was a pretty good move as well to help out that outfield. It's not Aaron Judge, but it's, the best you can get. The Mariners, I'll take Teoscar Hernandez. I hope that's how you say his name. Definitely a great trade. 267 average, 25 home runs, 77 RBIs. I definitely think this helps the Seattle offense. I do think they should have put a little more in pitching. It is what it is, though. But if they're going to be a 90-win-plus team, they do have to put some more money into signing free agents, not just trades. I think that was a little stupid, but it is what it is. The Cardinals, I'll say Wilson Contreras, a 234 average, 22 home runs, 55 RBIs. One of the better defensive catchers in the MLB, and he can add some good hitting to Goldschmidt and Arenado. But when the season, after the Cardinals season ended, I did say that I think they need another hitter next to Goldschmidt and Arenado. I definitely think it's definitely not on their level, but this definitely does help. The Rays, they don't really sign anybody. I'll take Zach Eflin, 3-5 record, a 4.04 ERA, 65 strikeouts. The Rays refuse to spend any money in free agency. I guess that's not the Ray way. So I guess Eflin and trades were just the way to go. But, Eflin, he's decent. He turned into a decent bullpen guy after he did get injured in the season. Let's just hope this year he does not get injured for the Rays. And next, the Rangers. Obviously, we got to go with Jacob deGrom, even though he's always hurt. A 5-4 record, a 3.08 ERA, 102 strikeouts. The best pitcher in baseball went healthy, except the problem is he's never healthy. And deGrom, he can't commit to a long-term deal because of the injuries once again, but high risk, high reward, I guess. You're trying to hope he's healthy. The Rangers are really desperate, and they put so much money into pitching this offseason. They kind of just had to do this. The Blue Jays. I'll take Chris Bassett. A 15-9 record, 3.42 ERA, 167 strikeouts. I did take him over Eric Swanson, just because I think Bassett will thrive. He is in a bigger role. He's pretty durable as well. While Swanson is great, I just think Bassett will thrive better. It is what it's just, the way it is. The Nationals, I'll take Corey Dickerson. I think that was the latest move they've made. They had 267 average, 6 home runs, 36 RBIs. The Nats really didn't do much this offseason, but Dickerson is probably the best role player they got. They're a rebuilding team. They're in the lottery, so it is what it is. They just, had to pick somebody up, and I think Dickerson was the best role player they got. But, yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this list. Let me know in the comments if you disagree, but nobody ever disagrees with Ryan. Great, you know what I'm saying? But that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you subscribe with your post notifications on. Go subscribe to my Brother Living the Great blogs. Make sure you go subscribe to my second channel at Ryan the God Great. And make sure you follow me on Twitch at Ryan the Great Podcast. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.